Hi Saurabh, thank you for joining me today, and I'm going to interview you on the trait conscientiousness. Let's start by with the first question.
Okay.
So, how you manage your time and prioritize your task when you're handling multiple projects simultaneously?
Okay. So there are two ways I would like to go about it. So before I came to our college, everything for me was digital. So I used something called a Notion. It had a just a task tracker. Sometimes I also used Google Sheets. I put everything on it, and I the one my go-to tool was Google Calendar. So even if you look at my Google Calendar now, I don't like to our normal classes. I don't go to them seeing the Google sheet that has been provided to us by the PGP office. I every Sunday I sit down and I put all the classes and everything related to my committee, related to everything else in my Google Calendar. In my Apple Calendar, because now I have a new phone. So I put everything in that, and so that I don't just have to juggle between places. I don't have to open emails every 5 minutes and see where everything is. And yeah, so maintaining a calendar is very important. But this was something that I did a lot before coming to here, right? But since I've come here, my screen time has gone like it has blew the roof, right? It's been above 8-10 hours. So the combined screen time of my phone and my laptop, because there's a lot of work, I need to separate from the digital a bit. So I'm trying this new thing where I'm writing my entire schedule and my timetable in a diary. So that way, like it can be physical for me. I don't need to screen into the abyss for like 5-10 minutes or maybe hours for a day. I think that's how I like to prioritize my tasks. One other thing, not just a calendar, maybe a combination of a calendar and a to-do list of sort. So do you know what the Eisenhower matrix? So this Eisenhower matrix is a thing where you prioritize your task based on how urgent they are and how important they are for you, right? So that's how it's like a you can make it in 4 quadrants, and I put all my tasks there. That way I know which are the tasks I have to give my attention to, and which are the tasks I don't need to think about right now because they're neither important nor they're urgent. That's how I do it.
Wow, that sounds very organized. So, my next question is then how do you manage your time to balance your work responsibilities and your own personal commitments?
Well, to be honest, I don't. I wish the answer was opposite in this case, or at least it was balanced. But the thing is, my work is sorted. I don't, as of now, have any problems when it comes to my work responsibilities. I complete all my deadlines, whether it's to my committee work or whether it's to the academics. But when it comes to my personal life, things are a little bit shaky. Sometimes I go maybe days without talking to my parents or my friends, which is something that does take a hit on my mental health. I believe it's for everyone else. But I really, to be honest, I should take some lessons from my work self. My personal self should take lessons from my work self and introduce a bit of, there is no such thing as structure when it comes to your personal relationships. I can't put a 2 hour window in my timetable to see this is the time I'm going to talk with my parents, because it could be a 5 minute call, it could be a 5 hour call also, right? So this is something which is a big issue for me, because when it comes to work, I know all the KKRs, I know all the all the things that I need to do to get things. It's very objective, and when it comes to objectivity, it's very easy to categorize it. But when it comes to subjectivity things, for example, a conversation I'm having with my parents, that can take as much time, and that's where I'm facing issues as of now.
Okay, that's very insightful. Also, since you're part of a committee right now, so you must be having a lot of pressure. So, how do you manage work when you're in a lot of pressure and a lot of stress?
So to be honest, the honest answer is I don't, right? And if you go up to any member in our committee, they would say that they're not managing it. uh, we are not sleeping, we're skipping meals. I believe a lot of us are not sleeping and skipping, a lot of us are skipping meals, but for us it feels that much more. Every day feels like 3 days clubbed into one. So we wake up, we do academics, then we do a day shift, then we come back, we do a night shift, and we only get to sleep for an average, I would say we're sleeping for 2-3 hours a day. And when we get to sleep more than 5 hours, we feel we beat the system. So that's how it is right now. The only thing that I think I am doing right in this regard is an advice my father gave me, that whenever you get the chance to sleep, just sleep. Like even if it's for 5 minutes, close your eyes, lie down. That's it. like it's going to be the powerest of power naps for you, and it's actually true. So one of these days I went to my room, I slept from 8 p.m. till 8:15. I genuinely felt I'd slept for 2 hours. Like I woke up and it was like, whoa man, where am I? And I had to look at my phone screen to see what the time was. So maybe that's the only way how I'm coping right now. I would say I'm not deteriorating, it's just maintaining. I would want it to grow, I would want my productivity to increase and not just be maintained. It has gotten better from the induction week till now. Things are becoming better. I'm getting the standard operating procedures. I know when to wake up, I know when to sleep, I know when to eat. Things are becoming more. I'm just getting used to the stress. That's what I would want to say. The stress doesn't reduce, you just get used to it. That's what I feel.
Okay, so my next question is then how do you stay motivated and committed to your work when you're facing so many challenges?
Motivate, like, so I have this quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's not even a quote, it's basically an idea. It's about vision. So if you know where you want to go, you can do it. Like, it's Nietzsche's quote, right? Okay, he who has a why can bear anyhow. So I believe my why is very strong. Why, like, so in our committee there is this culture of knowing the rationale behind everything. Even if we are opposing our seniors, even if we oppose our placement officer, even if we oppose anyone in the world, if we have a very very good rationale for it, logic for it, we are okay to do that. So I believe my rationale for doing what I am doing is very clear. I know what I want, I know why I want it. So that way, maybe even if I fall short on how I'm doing it, what I'm going to achieve, maybe that happens very, that happens on its own. I don't need to worry about that.
Okay. Okay, so you sound like a very focused person. You're very set in what you want to achieve. So how are you avoiding distractions, because there are a lot of distractions around us? So how do you avoid that?
Good question. I believe it's about priorities, right? So, for example, for someone whose priority is gaming, they would obviously be distracted by it, right? For me, my priority is my career, and at the same time making good relationships here. It's not about just networking, because networking is a fluff word according to me. It's about making good relationships with people. It's a Maya Angelou's quote: people won't remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel, right? So yeah, what was your question again?
How do you stay focused and avoid distractions?
Yeah, so avoiding distractions, I believe my priorities are set. I know what exactly like the past question. He who has a why can bear anyhow. I have very good whys. I know what I'm here for. So for people who are distracted, I believe, you know what? Even I used to be someone who was distracted in the past. Maybe when I was in school, maybe when I was in UG. It has been a steep slope from then. The the thing that I learned in this time is to how to prioritize what I want. What do I really care about? People who genuinely care about gaming, or people who genuinely care about going to the gym, if humans' life revolved around gymming or gaming, they would be the best among us, and I would seem like someone who's distracted, right? It just so happens to be that life is set around a way that career and responsibilities, these are important, and I happen to fall around that bracket. So I wouldn't say it's random, but it also fell into place that way. So priorities is my answer.
Okay. Okay, so I want, like, you sound like somebody who has clear set priorities. So, can you recall any instance in your life when you had to make some sacrifices in order to meet your work commitments?
So, well, I'm doing that right now. So, with my committee work, but I don't want to delve into that. Let's say, okay, so it's not work as such. So, when I was in school, I founded my school's dance society, right? So this was in my 12th standard. So the board year, the year where academics matter the most, the year that decides which UG college you get into. And in that year we founded our school's dance society. So it was a huge task maintaining the society itself and my studies at the same time. It was very challenging for us, because just like now, we used to study from 7 a.m. till 1 p.m. in school, and right after that everyone went home, but we stayed back 4 days of week or 3 days a week, and we danced from 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. The one good thing for me was that my house was really close to my school, so I could go back home whenever I wanted, get a good nap and come back. But yeah, that was like a time where I was not able to maintain what I was doing, and it was really hard for me.
Okay.
That was one of the challenges, but I think that helped a lot because right now, okay, so an informal way of saying it, but that time I felt that I could moonlight very easily because I was already living two lives, as an academic and as a dancer, and that has definitely helped me set my priorities here because I've already had a life which was very hectic. I was sleeping 4-5 hours then also, so it's very, because I've mapped the same system to here, to Ahmedabad,
Okay.
and made it better.
So you sound like somebody who's very detail oriented. Like you also told me that how you're planning your schedule and everything
Yeah.
to the details.
Yeah.
So tell me, how do you balance between being detail oriented and then seeing the big picture as well?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, I think that's the best question. Sometimes you lose the forest for the trees,
Yes.
right? And that has been a huge problem for me since I was a kid. And it's only now that I've gotten to understand ki, okay, this is something that I'm facing an issue with. It used to happen that I got so engrossed in one thing or in the details. Like, I hate the word perfectionist because of this, right? I used to love it when people said, oh, you're a perfectionist, oh, you like, you like going into detail, but you don't understand it from the person who is in those shoes, because someone who is a perfectionist, he goes into the details so much that they lose sight of the bigger picture. It has definitely taken some falls to understand I have to take care of the bigger picture as well. I just cannot think about, oh, what is the font size, and is this step good or not, or does this document look good or not, or do I know what is the name of the third artery which goes from the heart or not. I just should know, like, how the heart works, or have I submitted the document or not, or is the choreography good or not. So sometimes I think it has come with practice, but yeah, this is something I have struggled with in the past, but I feel that that is behind me now. I've worked at it, and I've been able to balance it for the past few years.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Saurabh, for such a great interview. It's going to help me a lot to assess your personality trait. And thank you.
My pleasure.